In the beginning, Earth was young and wild, a planet reshaped by volcanic fire, violent storms, and shifting oceans. Amid this chaos, in the late Triassic period, something extraordinary began to emerge. From small, agile reptiles evolved creatures that would one day dominate every continent. The first dinosaurs were not towering giants but nimble hunters and plant eaters, finding their place in a harsh and unforgiving world. They were survivors, born into a dangerous age, destined to rule for over 160 million years before their ultimate downfall. These early dinosaurs were overshadowed by other reptiles, like massive crocodile-like archosaurs. Yet they had something special: lightweight bones, powerful legs, and a metabolism that allowed them to move faster than their rivals. Small predators like Eoraptor darted through prehistoric forests, while early herbivores like Plateosaurus grazed on ferns. Every day was a struggle to find food and avoid becoming food. But evolution was on their side. Within a few million years, dinosaurs would rise to dominance, reshaping entire ecosystems in their unstoppable march forward. The Jurassic period marked the dawn of dinosaur supremacy. Towering conifers and lush ferns formed endless green landscapes. Here, the giants appeared: Brachiosaurus, with its neck reaching the treetops, and Diplodocus, stretching over 80 feet long. These herbivores roamed in herds, stripping forests clean. But they were never safe. Massive predators like Allosaurus stalked the plains, using ambush and teamwork to bring down prey many times their size. This was a world of balance, a constant cycle of growth, death, and survival, written in tooth and claw. Dinosaur life began the moment an egg cracked open. A hatchling emerged, small and vulnerable, into a world filled with danger. Some species cared for their young in nests, guarding them fiercely. Others abandoned their eggs, leaving survival to chance. For plant eaters, the first steps meant learning to walk quickly, keeping up with the herd to avoid predators. For carnivores, it meant sharpening instincts, stalking insects, and chasing small animals. Every heartbeat was a race against time: grow fast or perish in the shadows of giants. Juvenile dinosaurs lived in constant danger. In the Mesozoic world, predators were everywhere. A young Stegosaurus might fall to a pack of hungry raptors, while a baby Brachiosaurus could be snatched by a crocodile lurking in a river. Growth meant safety: a larger body could fend off attackers. But it also meant greater hunger. These young giants spent most of their time eating, slowly transforming into the massive creatures that would dominate the landscape. Survival wasn't just about strength. It was about learning the ways of a dangerous world. As dinosaurs matured, they became masters of their environment. Herds of Triceratops defended themselves with horns and unity. Lone predators like Tyrannosaurus rex became apex hunters, capable of crushing bone with a single bite. Some species developed armor, like Ankylosaurus, a living tank with a clubbed tail. Others evolved speed and intelligence, like the deadly Velociraptor. Each adaptation told the story of survival, written over millions of years. The Mesozoic was not static. It was a stage of constant change, where only the fittest could endure. Daily life for a dinosaur was simple yet brutal. Find food, avoid danger, and reproduce. Herbivores migrated in massive groups, following the rains to fresh feeding grounds. Carnivores patrolled territories, their senses tuned to the faintest movement or smell of blood. Some, like Parasaurolophus, used haunting calls to communicate across long distances, warning of predators or calling to mates. Life was a constant rhythm of hunt and escape, feast and famine. In this ancient world, every decision could mean the difference between life. The Mesozoic climate was warmer than today, with no polar ice caps. Lush forests grew near the poles, and deserts bloomed in the equatorial zones. Dinosaurs adapted to every habitat, from coastal swamps to mountain valleys. In Antarctica, herds of small plant eaters braved months of winter darkness. In arid plains, predators hunted at dawn and dusk to escape the heat. Adaptation was the key to survival, and dinosaurs proved themselves masters of it, thriving in conditions that would challenge most modern animals. Social behaviors varied widely. Some dinosaurs lived solitary lives, defending vast territories. Others formed complex social groups with clear hierarchies. Fossil evidence shows mass nesting sites, suggesting synchronized breeding seasons. Certain species may have engaged in cooperative hunting, using strategy rather than brute force. The bonds within a herd could mean survival. A wounded member might be protected, and predators deterred by sheer numbers. But these relationships came at a cost. Competition for mates, food, and dominance often led to fierce battles among their own kind. Reproduction was central to the survival of every species. Dinosaurs laid eggs, often in carefully chosen nesting grounds. Some buried them in sand to keep warm. Others built elaborate nests from vegetation. Parental care varied. Species like Maiasaura tended their young for months, feeding and protecting them. Others left them to fend for themselves. For predators, hatchlings meant a future generation of hunters. For herbivores, they were the next guardians of the herd. In a world full of danger, the act of raising young was both a risk and a necessity. As dinosaurs grew older, they entered their prime, the peak of their strength, speed, and skill. Apex predators like Tyrannosaurus rex ruled their territories with unmatched power, while colossal herbivores like Argentinosaurus reshaped entire landscapes as they fed. These were years of dominance, when a single roar could scatter smaller predators and a swipe of a tail could crush bones. Yet even in their prime, danger lingered. Disease, injury, or an unlucky encounter could bring down even the mightiest of dinosaurs. Predator-prey relationships drove evolution. As hunters grew faster and smarter, prey developed better defenses. Thick armor, sharp horns, and camouflage became survival tools. The sight of a T-Rex charging across a plain sent herds into chaos. Raptors, small but intelligent, worked in packs to overwhelm larger prey. Every chase, every ambush, every battle left its mark on the species involved. This endless arms race ensured that dinosaurs remained in peak form, always adapting, always finding new ways to survive in a competitive, violent world. The Middle Mesozoic saw extraordinary diversity. Dinosaurs occupied every niche. Some soared through the skies as pterosaurs. Others swam in rivers as crocodilian relatives, while the true giants roamed the land. There were plant specialists, insect hunters, scavengers, and apex predators. This variety made ecosystems resilient, but also interdependent. If a single species vanished, it could trigger a chain reaction. Balance was delicate, and while the age of dinosaurs seemed eternal, Earth's history had already proven that no reign lasts forever. Change was always on the horizon. Communication was vital in a dangerous world. From deep, resonating calls of Brachiosaurus to the sharp cries of Velociraptor, sound carried across prehistoric landscapes. Crests, frills, and brightly colored feathers, in some species, served as visual signals, warnings to rivals, invitations to mates, or displays of dominance. Dinosaurs used both sight and sound to influence behavior, strengthen bonds, and defend territories. These signals were the lifeline of survival, a language written not in words, but in roars, postures, and primal displays that echoed through time. Seasons shaped the lives of dinosaurs. During wet months, rivers swelled and vegetation flourished, offering abundant food. In dry seasons, landscapes withered, forcing migrations to greener lands. Herds traveled vast distances, facing predators, storms, and treacherous terrain. Some species hibernated or slowed their activity, conserving energy until conditions improved. These seasonal cycles dictated life's rhythm, determining when to feed, breed, or move. For dinosaurs, adapting to the calendar of nature was as crucial as escaping a predator's claws. Survival was a year-round challenge. As dinosaurs aged, their roles changed. Older, experienced individuals often led migrations, knowing safe routes and water sources. Some may have acted as protectors, defending the young from predators. But aging also brought vulnerability, slower movement, weaker senses, and the risk of disease. In the wild, a serious injury could mean death. Predators targeted the weak, and nature had little mercy. Still, The oldest dinosaurs carried the memories of countless seasons, their survival a testament to strength, intelligence, and sheer determination. Death was part of the Mesozoic cycle. When a dinosaur fell, scavengers like small theropods and ancient crocodiles moved in quickly. Even giant predators would feed on a carcass if given the chance. Nothing was wasted. Flesh, bones, and even eggshells were recycled into the ecosystem. Over millions of years, these remains fossilized, becoming the records we study today. In death, dinosaurs gave life to the next generation of creatures, their existence forever imprinted in the stone layers of Earth's ancient history. The Cretaceous period brought both beauty and danger. Flowering plants transformed landscapes, attracting insects and changing diets for many herbivores. But alongside this blossoming came new predators, larger and more specialized than ever. The mighty Tyrannosaurus rex emerged, alongside armored Ankylosaurus and horned Triceratops. This was a time of giants, yet also of fragility. Volcanic eruptions, shifting continents, and changing climates signaled that the Mesozoic was entering its final act, though the dinosaurs themselves could not have known it. Life continued much as it had for millions of years. Herds grazed, predators hunted, and new generations hatched. But small changes were adding up: fluctuations in temperature, altered rainfall patterns, and new plant growth slowly reshaped habitats. In some regions, food became scarce, forcing migrations into unfamiliar territory. This environmental instability would soon be overshadowed by something far greater, a cosmic event so devastating that it would erase nearly all dinosaurs from the Earth in a geological instant. 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid hurtled toward Earth. It was 6 miles wide, traveling faster than a bullet, and its impact would end the reign of dinosaurs. On an otherwise ordinary day in the Cretaceous, the sky lit up with a blinding flash. In moments, the asteroid slammed into the Yucatan Peninsula, releasing energy equal to billions of nuclear bombs. The shockwave flattened forests, tsunamis raced across oceans, and the world's fate changed forever in the span of minutes. The impact unleashed hell on Earth. In the immediate aftermath, molten debris rained from the sky, igniting global wildfires. Day turned to night as thick clouds of dust and ash blotted out the sunday. Photosynthesis halted, plants withered, and food chains collapsed. Herbivores starved, and the predators that hunted them soon followed. This was more than a disaster. It was a complete reset of life's balance. In mere weeks, an age that lasted 160 million years began its rapid and irreversible decline. The air grew colder as sunlight failed to penetrate the thick atmosphere. Temperatures dropped dramatically, creating a sudden impact winter. Herbivorous dinosaurs, unable to find plants, grew weak and died in massive numbers. Apex predators, from T. rex to dromaeosaurs, found their hunting grounds empty. Even the mighty could not escape the invisible grip of starvation. The forests fell silent, and the once thunderous footsteps of dinosaurs faded, replaced by the desperate cries of the last survivors struggling against inevitable extinction. Survival was now a matter of luck and adaptability. Smaller animals, early mammals, birds, and reptiles found ways to endure by eating insects, seeds, or carrion. Some dinosaurs, like small feathered theropods, clung to life in isolated pockets, but most species perished within months. The global ecosystem unraveled. Volcanoes spewed gases, oceans acidified, and storms raged. Every corner of the Earth bore scars of the catastrophe, and for dinosaurs, the end had come not with a slow fade, but with a sudden, violent collapse. The final days of the dinosaurs were not marked by epic battles, but by emptiness. Herds that once roamed in the thousands dwindled to a few starving individuals. Predators wandered vast distances without finding prey. Nesting grounds lay abandoned, eggs unhatched. The great diversity of the Cretaceous collapsed into silence. Across the continents, the last giants fell not defeated by a rival species, but by a planet reshaped into something unrecognizable, hostile, and uninhabitable for the rulers of the Mesozoic. The last non-avian dinosaurs likely died quietly, their passing unnoticed by the rest of a struggling world. When the dust finally began to settle, the Earth was a different place. Most of the great reptiles were gone, but some of their relatives survived. The lineage of small, feathered theropods, the ancestors of modern birds, endured. These survivors carried fragments of the dinosaur legacy into the future, their lightweight bodies and adaptable diets allowing them to thrive in the new, colder, emptier world. The extinction cleared the stage for mammals. With dinosaurs gone, mammals expanded into niches once ruled by giants. They grew larger, more diverse, and spread across the globe. But the absence of dinosaurs left more than just empty spaces. It marked the end of an era of unparalleled biological dominance. For over 160 million years, dinosaurs had shaped Earth's ecosystems. Now, their reign was over, but their bones, buried deep in rock, would one day tell their story to curious minds. Millions of years later, fossils are our time machines. Encased in stone, they preserve the evidence of creatures that once shook the ground with their steps. Paleontologists painstakingly uncover these remains, reconstructing the anatomy, behavior, and even colors of long-lost species. From massive skeletons in museum halls to tiny feather imprints in shale, each discovery adds another chapter to the dinosaur saga. These ancient bones speak across eons, reminding us that life is both fragile and resilient, capable of incredible triumphs and vulnerable to sudden endings. The study of dinosaurs reveals more than just their anatomy. It shows us the interconnectedness of life. Fossilized plants tell us what they ate. Ancient footprints reveal how they walked, ran, or hunted. Nesting sites show patterns of care and survival strategies. Even the scars on bones tell stories of battles fought and won. Each piece of evidence is a whisper from the past, offering clues to how these magnificent creatures lived, thrived, and ultimately vanished from the face of the Earth. Dinosaurs were not failures of evolution. They were among its greatest successes. They adapted to deserts, swamps, forests, and polar regions. They developed complex social behaviors, specialized diets, and diverse forms, from tiny insect eaters to ocean-sized herbivores. Their extinction was not the result of weakness, but of a cosmic accident. If the asteroid had missed, dinosaurs might still dominate the planet today, and humans might never have appeared. Their story is a reminder of life's unpredictability and the razor-thin line between survival and extinction. Modern birds are living proof of the dinosaur legacy. From hummingbirds to eagles, they carry the DNA of their ancient ancestors. Their feathers, flight, and nesting behaviors trace back to the Mesozoic. Every time a bird takes to the sky, it echoes the movements of small, agile dinosaurs that once darted through prehistoric forests. In this way, dinosaurs never truly vanished. They evolved, adapted, and found new ways to thrive in a changed world. The age of dinosaurs, in some sense, still lives on. The fascination with dinosaurs is timeless. Their size, power, and diversity capture our imaginations, inspiring stories, films, and scientific inquiry. They are symbols of both nature's creativity and its ruthlessness. By studying them, we learn about climate change, adaptation, and extinction lessons that are more relevant than ever. The rocks beneath our feet hold warnings and wisdom, carved by the passing of ages. Dinosaurs are not just relics of the past. They are teachers, showing us the possibilities and limits of life on Earth. Paleontology continues to evolve, revealing new surprises. Discoveries of feathered dinosaurs in China reshaped our understanding of their appearance and behavior. Advanced scanning techniques uncover details hidden within fossils, even traces of pigments that hint at ancient colors. These breakthroughs bring dinosaurs to life in vivid detail, replacing old myths with evidence-based reconstructions. Each year, new species are named, expanding our knowledge and deepening the mystery. Even after centuries of study, the story of dinosaurs remains far from complete. Dinosaurs also help us understand Earth's geological history. Their fossils mark the shifting of continents, the rise and fall of sea levels, and the changing climate over millions of years. They are part of a larger puzzle, one that connects every form of life, past and present. By piecing together this puzzle, scientists can predict how current ecosystems might respond to change. The story of dinosaurs is not just a prehistoric tale, it's a guide to the future of life on our planet. Museums play a crucial role in preserving and sharing dinosaur history. Behind the glass displays are teams of scientists, artists, and technicians who restore fossils, build life-sized reconstructions, and make the past tangible for the public. These institutions are gateways to deep time, inspiring children and adults alike. Standing beneath the towering skeleton of a brachiosaurus, one can almost hear the rustle of ancient forests and the distant call of a predator. The magic of dinosaurs lies in their ability to make history come alive. The mystery of dinosaur extinction continues to fascinate scientists. While the asteroid impact is the leading theory, some researchers explore additional factors: massive volcanic eruptions, shifting continents, and climate change. These forces may have weakened ecosystems before the asteroid struck, making recovery impossible. The debate keeps the field vibrant as each new piece of evidence sparks fresh questions. The truth may be complex, involving multiple catastrophic events converging at once, a perfect storm that ended the reign of Earth's greatest rulers. The legacy of dinosaurs extends beyond science. They are cultural icons, appearing in myths, art, and popular media across the world. Ancient peoples discovered fossils long before paleontology existed, sometimes interpreting them as the remains of dragons or legendary beasts. Today, they are stars of blockbuster films and beloved children's stories. This enduring fascination speaks to something deep in human nature, a longing to connect with the distant past, to imagine worlds we never saw, and to marvel at the creatures that once were. In many ways, studying dinosaurs is a study of ourselves. They remind us that dominance is temporary, that even the most powerful can fall to forces beyond their control. They also show that life is resilient, capable of adapting and flourishing after even the most devastating events. The asteroid that ended the age of dinosaurs paved the way for mammals and ultimately for us. Without their extinction, our own story might never have begun. In their absence, life found a new path. When we imagine dinosaurs, we often picture their final moments, but their story is far larger. For over 160 million years, they thrived, adapted, and transformed the world. They survived mass extinctions, climate shifts, and competition with other species. Their success was unmatched in the history of life on Earth. Remembering their long reign is just as important as studying their sudden end, for it is in their resilience that we see the full measure of their greatness. Today, every bird we see is a living connection to the Mesozoic. Whether it's a soaring eagle or a tiny sparrow, each carries the genetic heritage of dinosaurs. The flutter of wings, the curve of a beak, the fierce gaze of a raptor, all are echoes of an age when reptiles ruled the earth. We are not just looking at animals. We are witnessing survivors of one of the greatest extinction events in history, living reminders that the past is never truly gone. From their first steps in the Triassic to their final breaths in the Cretaceous, dinosaurs lived extraordinary lives. They were hunters, grazers, builders, protectors, and survivors. Their reign ended in fire and darkness, but their story continues in the rocks beneath our feet, in the birds above our heads, and in the imaginations of those who dream of ancient worlds. The age of dinosaurs may be over, but their legacy will endure as long as humanity seeks to understand the past.